Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananchakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapreshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome you all for second session of the reading of the book Perfect Questions and Perfect Answers. Which is a conversation between this A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada and a science teacher of the Peace Corps, Bob. Srila Prabhupada. So, I am giving an example. I am creating some energy by digesting the food, and that is maintaining my body. If your energy supply is not proper, then your body becomes weak or unhealthy. Your body of your own energy. Similarly, in the cosmic body, the universe is made of Krishna's energy. How can you deny it? As your body is made out of your energy, similarly, the universal body must be made by somebody's energy. That is Krishna. Bob, I will have to think about it to follow that. Srila Prabhupada, what is to follow? It is a fact. He laughs. Your hair is growing daily. Why? Because you have some energy. Bob, the energy I obtain from my Prabhupada. Somehow or other, you have energy, and through that energy, your hair is growing. So, if your body is manufactured by your energy, similarly, the whole gigantic manifestation is made of God's energy. It is a fact. It is not your energy. Bob, yes. Oh, I see that. So, here Srila Prabhupada is trying to explain to Bob that with a logic that just like the energy what we have is produced by us from the food what we eat, right? Similarly, the cosmic manifestation, the universe, used by the energy of, there is a person behind the cosmic creation also. But Bob is asking, I'll have to think about it to follow it. Then Srila Prabhupada says, what is there to follow? It is a fact. It is just like example. When people say, we tell about some facts of spiritual life, some facts of this universe according to the scriptures, they say, yes, looks like it is true, or maybe, or perhaps something they say. Then I give them an example. If I tell you that sun rises from the east direction, eastern direction, if you say, yes, maybe it rises on the eastern direction, what do you call it? It is sheer foolishness, right? Because it's a fact and everybody knows that sun rises in the eastern direction. For if you don't want to believe, that's a different thing. If you don't want to believe, you may believe and pass your entire life, okay, by believing that sun rises in the western direction, right? So similarly, the concept of God, concept of the soul, believe or not, many times some people don't believe in karma and all. I don't believe in life. I don't believe in the future life. I don't believe that whatever I do, it will come back to me. You believe it or not, it will come back. Your karma you have to suffer or enjoy. You believe it or not, there exists Atma, soul, which is our eternal identity. Just like you may not believe that there is traffic department, RTO department, and they have some signals, and whenever there is red light you have to stop your vehicle. You may say that I don't believe if there is red light, I have to stop. I will go on, I will continue riding. And you will create some havoc on the road and you will be arrested or you will be put fine, penalty. Not say to the traffic police, if that red light means I have to stop, green light means I have to go. Right? Fact is fact. The rules are made by the government and we are supposed to follow the rules, whether it is or the criminal rules or whatever, civil rules. We have to follow. There is no other option. If we don't follow, either we have to pay the fine, penalty, or we have to go behind the bars. Similarly, just like we have rules and there are so many laws, so many rules governing this country, similarly for the universe there are universal laws, there is universal government, and if we don't follow, we have to suffer the consequences. It is not like I will think about whether I'll follow or not. You think or you don't think, you will be obliged. Right? Just like, aren't the planets in the universe the sun's energy? A product of sun's energy? Srila Prabhupada, yes. But who produced the sun? That is Krishna's energy. Because it is heat, and Krishna says, Bhumirapo analo vayu khammano buddhirevata ahankaram iti amme bhinna me prakritirashthada. All these energies, earth, water, fire, air, ether, ego, they are all my separated energy. Prakritir ashthada. Right? That is my energy. Heat, that is my energy. The sun is the representation of the heating energy of Krishna. It is not your energy. You cannot say the sun is made by me, but somebody must have made it. And Krishna says that he did. So we believe Krishna. Krishnites, Bob. Krishnites? Srila Prabhupada. Yes, our knowledge is perfect. If I say that heat is the energy of Krishna, you cannot deny it. Because it is not your energy. In your body, there is some certain amount of heat. Similarly, heat is someone's energy. And who is that person? That is Krishna. Krishna says, yes, it is my energy. So my knowledge is perfect because I take the version of the greatest scientist. I am the greatest scientist. I may be a fool personally, but because I take knowledge from the greatest scientist, I am the greatest scientist. I have no difficulty. Bob, excuse me, Srila Prabhupada. I have no difficulty in becoming the greatest scientist because I take the knowledge from the greatest scientist. There is a long pause. This earth, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, they are my 8 separated. Wow. They are separated energies? Yes. Just like this milk. What is this milk? The separated energy of the cow, Shamasundara. And Shamasundara and Bob stunned laugh in realization. Is it not? It is the manifestation of the separated energy of the cow, Shamasundara. Is it like a byproduct? Srila Prabhupada, yes. Bob, What is the significance of this energies being separated from Krishna? Srila Prabhupada, separated means that this is made out of the body of the cow, but it is not the cow. Right? Milk is made out of the body of the cow, but milk is not cow. That is separation, Bob. So this earth and all is made out of Krishna, but it is not Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, it is not Krishna. Or you can say Krishna and not Krishna simultaneously. That is our philosophy. One and you cannot say that these things are different Krishna, because without Krishna they have no existence. At the same time, you cannot say, then let me worship water. Why Krishna? The pantheists, the pantheists say that because everything is God, whatever God worship. That is Mayavada. Because everything is made of God, everything is God. But our philosophy is that everything is God, but also not God. So simultaneously, same and different, Bob. So what on earth is God? Is there anything on earth that is God? Srila Prabhupada, yes, because everything is made out of the energy of God, but that does not mean that by worshipping anything you are worshipping God, Bob. So what is on earth that is not Maya? It is, Srila Prabhupada, Maya means energy, Bob. It, Srila Prabhupada, yes, Maya. Another meaning is illusion. So foolish persons accept the energy as the energetic. That is Maya. Just like sunshine. Sunshine enters your room. Sunshine is the energy of the sun. But because the sunshine enters your room, you cannot say that the sun has entered. Right? Very simple example. Srila Prabhupada makes the most complicated concepts most easy to be understood by the most lame man, most common man. Sunshine is the energy of the sun, but because the sun enters your room, you cannot say that the sun has entered. If the sun enters your room, then your room and yourself, everything will be finished immediately. You will not have the leisure to understand that the sun has entered, is it not, Bob? It is. But you cannot say that sunshine is not the sun. Without the sun, where is the sunshine? So you cannot say the sun, but at the same time, it is. See, it's very easy to understand this example, right? The energy and the energetic, right? All that is that we see in this entire creation is nothing but the energy. And who is the, there is energy means that energy belongs to someone. It is someone's energy. Who is that someone? That is Krishna. That is what Krishna says in the entire Bhagavad Gita. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattah sarvam pravartate. I am all pervaded, everything emanates from me. What is the meaning of this? Krishna is everywhere. How? In the form of his energy. And everything emanates from me. What is the meaning of that? Everything is the production of Krishna's energy. And that is how a pure devotee of the Lord, this proper understanding of Krishna's energy, he sees the Lord everywhere. In every atom of this universe, a pure devotee, a self realized devotee, a God realized devotee, he can see Krishna everywhere. That is how Prahlad could see Krishna everywhere, in every pillar, in every atom of the palace of Hiranyakashipu. And that is how he said, when Hiranyakashipu, is your Lord present in this pillar? He said, yes, yes, my dear father, my Lord is present in this pillar also. And that is when Hiranyakashipu tried to break open that pillar, and as the Lord is present everywhere in the form of his energy, Lord manifested himself from the pillar as Lord Narsimhadeva. Right? So, and there is another beautiful pastime of a South Indian saint from Karnataka, Kanakadasa, given by his guru. He, along with many other disciples, they were all given one banana, and they were told by their teacher that you should go to such a place where nobody is seeing you, and in such place you should eat this banana and you should come back. All the disciples very quickly they found out some place where there is nobody. Somebody went under some cot, somebody went behind the door, somebody hid himself in a chadar, somebody went inside a room, somebody went up the a tree, right, where nobody could see them, and everybody ate the banana and came back except one person, that was Kanakadasa. And he came very late, and he had not eaten the banana. His banana was there as it is in his hands. And when the Guru asked, all your classmates, they all ate banana, finding a proper place where nobody saw them. Why you have not eaten? Kanakadasa said, I looked everywhere, but I could not find a single place where Krishna is not one. So this is Shastra Chakshusha. This is Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santaha Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. Devotee, he sees within the heart of his hearts his Lord Krishna always. Right? Sorry for the interruption. So, how to see Krishna? One thing is that the understanding from the Shastras, the facts from the Shastras, that the entire creation is the manifestation of energy of Lord Krishna. One is this is how we see Krishna everywhere. And from Bhagavad Gita also we understand that Krishna says, when Arjuna asks, just like a common man, that yogis may see you in their hearts, but how a common man can see you in his ordinary dealings? And then how a common man can see you? That is when Krishna answers that Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi surayah pranavah sarva vedeshu taste of water. The sunshine, what you see every day, that is me. The moonshine, what you see every day, that is me. I am the Omkara, the syllable Om in the Vedas. I am the energy in the man. So, like this, there are many. Krishna speaks about a big list. All how all common man also can perceive the presence of Lord Krishna. And on top of that, a pure devotee, because he loves Krishna from his heart, he sees Krishna everywhere. Because his eyes are anointed with the pulp of love, he can see Krishna everywhere. That is inconceivable energy, and because everything is Krishna's energy, Krishna can manifest himself from any energy. Therefore, when we worship Krishna in a form made of something, of earth, water, or something like that, that is Krishna. So here is the answer. Many people ask, you always worship that idol, some form of God. God in that idol, we don't call it as idol, we call it as Archa Vigraha, or the deity form of the Lord. Right? So they ask whether God is present in that. How to understand? This is how we understand. God is present everywhere, right? God is present everywhere. So he will not be present in the deity. Right? If somebody says he is present everywhere, but he is not in the deity, then it is foolishness. Then if God is everywhere, what is the use of the deity? Very good example for this is just like in your room, there is a fan, right? So everywhere, because when you on the switch on the fan, everywhere there is air, right? Everywhere there is air, but fan is important from where the air is coming, right? So similarly, God is everywhere, but how do we connect with him? Through the Archa Vigraha, his deity form, right? So everything is Krishna's energy. Krishna can manifest himself from any energy. Therefore, when we worship Krishna in a form made of something, either earth, water, or is Krishna, you cannot say that is not. Worship this metal form of Krishna, the deity form in the temple, that is Krishna. That's a fact. Because metal is an energy of Krishna, non-different from Krishna. Powerful that he can present himself fully in his energy. So this deity worship is not heathenism. It is actually worship of God, provided you know the process. Right, Bob? If you know the process, then the deity becomes Krishna. Srila Prabhupada. Not becomes, it is Krishna. See how nicely Prabhupada clarifies every doubt. Right? That is why he is called the Vaikuntha man, a person who appeared, who came from Vaikuntha. Bob, the deity is the deity is Krishna, but only if you know the process. Srila Prabhupada. Just like this electric wire, one who knows the process, he can derive electricity out of it. Shamasundara. Otherwise, it is just wire. Srila Prabhupada. Just wire. Bob. So, if I build a statue of Krishna, it is not Krishna unless, Srila Prabhupada, it is Krishna, but you have to know the process of understanding that it is Krishna. It is Krishna. It is not just earth and mud, Srila Prabhupada. No. Earth has no separate existence without Krishna. It is my energy. You cannot separate energetic. It is not possible. You cannot separate heat from fire, but fire is different from the heat. Heat is different from the fire. You are taking heat. That does not mean you are touching fire, right? Fire in spite of heat, keeps its identity. Fire, it emanates heat, but its identity is separate. Similarly, although Krishna by his different energies is creating everything, he remains Krishna. Right? That is why the first invocation shloka, invocation verse of Ishopanishad says, Om Purnamidam Purnam Adam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Right? Krishna is Purna, whatever emanates from him is Purna. And if Purna also taken out of Krishna, who is Purna, again Purna will remain as Purna. This is Krishna. In Krishna's calculation, in spiritual calculation, 1 minus 1 is not 0. 1 minus 1 is equal to 1. 1 plus equal to 2. 1 plus 1 is equal to 1. Calculation. That is why Krishna is absolute. Right? But you have to know the process of understanding. It is Krishna. It is not just earth and mud. Srila Prabhupada, no, earth has no separate existence without Krishna. Krishna says, my energy. You cannot separate the energy from the energetic. It is not possible. You cannot separate heat from fire, but fire is different from the heat, and heat is different from the fire. You are taking heat. That does not mean you are touching fire. Fire, in spite of emanating heat, keeps its identity. Similarly, although Krishna, by his different energies, is creating everything, he remains Krishna. The Mayavadi philosophers think that if Krishna is everything, then Krishna's separate identity is lost. That is material thinking. For example, drinking this milk little by little, when I finish, there is no more milk. It has gone to my belly. Krishna is not like that. He is omnipotent. We are utilizing his energy continually there, present. Just like a man, unlimitedly, but the man is there. A crude example. It's not that because he has produced hundreds of children, he is finished. So similarly, God or Krishna in unlimited number of children is there. Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. This is Krishna consciousness. Krishna is never finished. Krishna is so powerful, therefore he is all attractive. This is one side of the display of Krishna's energy. Similarly, he has unlimited energies. This study of Krishna's energy is only one side or a portion only. So, in this way, if you go on studying Krishna, that is Krishna consciousness. It is not a bogus thing. Maybe, perhaps not, absolutely, perhaps not. Absolutely, it is. Shyamasundara. And the study itself is never finished. Prabhupada, no. How can it? It has unlimited energy. So, here we end the first chapter of the book, The Perfect Questions and Perfect Answers. We'll move to the second chapter, The Vedic Culture, Varnashrama Dharma. And this conversation happened because the conversation continues on February 28, 1972. Bob asked devotees about how they feel towards sex. And I see the way they feel, but I can't see myself acting the same way. See, I'll be getting married at the end of this summer, Srila Prabhupada. Bob, I'll be getting married at the end of this summer in September or August when I return to America. And the devotees say that the householders only have sex to conceive a child, and I cannot picture myself at all in such a position. And what kind of sex life can one lead living in the material world? Srila Prabhupada. The principle is that one should avoid sex life altogether. The whole Vedic principle is to get liberation from material bondage. There are different attachments for material enjoyments. material enjoyment, of which sex life is the topmost enjoyment. The Bhagavatam says that this material world, pumsah striya mithuni bhava metam. Man is attached to woman, and woman is attached to man. Not only in human society, in animal society also. That attachment is the basic principle of material life. So, a woman is hankering or seeking after the association of a man, and a man is hankering or seeking for the association of a woman. All the fiction novels, drama, cinema, and even ordinary advertisements simply depict the attachment between man and common we see in the material world. All the movies, all the films, all the serials, right, all the advertisements, all on this attachment. Even in the tailor's shop, you will find in the window some woman and some man. Pravrittiresha bhutanam nivrittistu mahaphalam. So this attachment is already there, Bob. Attachment between man and woman, Srila Prabhupada, man and woman. So if you want to get liberation from this material world, then that attachment should be reduced to nil. Otherwise, simply further attachment. You will have to take rebirth either as a human being or as a demigod or as an animal, as a serpent, as a bird, as a beast. You will have to take birth. So this basic principle of increasing attachment is not our business. Although it is the general tendency, griha, kshetra, sutta, home, land, sons. But if one can reduce and stop it, that is first class. Therefore, our Vedic system is to first of all train brahmachari, no sex life. Reduce attachment, not to increase it. Therefore, the whole system is called Varnashrama Dharma. The Indian system calls for Varna and Ashrama, four social orders and four spiritual orders. What are the four spiritual orders? Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasa. Life, married life, retired life, and renounced life. These are the spiritual orders. And the social orders consist of Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. Brahmanas means the intellectuals, Kshatriyas the administrators, Vaishyas merchants and farmers, and Shudras ordinary workers. So under this system, the regulative principles are so nice that even if one has the tendency to enjoy material life, he is so nicely molded that at last he achieves liberation and goes back home, back to Godhead. That this is the process. No sex life. So sex life is not required. But because we are attached to it, therefore there are some regulative principles under which it is maintained. Chanting starts somewhere in the background with exotic mridanga drum beats amidst laughing and the loud blowing of horns. Srila Prabhupada. It is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam that Pumsahastriya mithuni bhavametam tayor mitho hridaya granthi mahuhu ato graha kshetra sutapta vittaih janasya mohoyam aham mameti. This sex life is the basic principle of material life. Attachment for man or woman. And when they are united, when a man and woman are united, that attachment becomes increased. And that increased attachment will induce one to accumulate kshetra, land, apta, friendship, vitta means money. In this way, graha kshetra sutapta vittaihi, he becomes entangled. Janasya mohoyam, this is the illusion. And by this illusion, he thinks, aham mameti, I am this body, and anything in relationship with this body is mine. Right? So, here we will end today. We'll continue in the next session in the next week. Thank you all for joining. Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.